How's it going, everybody? Welcome to round 4 of the Reddit Championship Series. We have two exciting non-meta strategies facing off in round 4. We have Clayton, who will be piloting Ancient Warriors, and on the other side of it, we have Reach, who is actually on Speedroid Windwitch. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't really know what Ancient Warriors do, I don't know what Speedroids do. Well, me and you are in the exact same boat because I have no idea what either of those decks do either, so it looks like we're going to be learning them together. So, Reach will be starting this duel off, and they're going to start off with activating Wind in hand. So they're going to pitch a copy of Wind, the Wind Channeler, and Speedroid Card Turbo in order to attempt to search. Unfortunately for them, that's going to be met with Ash Blossom. Now, as we can see, they still have a normal summon, and they also have Monster Reborn, so they're going to be able to play through the Ash no problem. So they're going to normal summon the Take Tomborg, use Take Tomborg's effect to tribute it, special summon one Speedroid Tuner monster from their deck, but unfortunately for them, they are now locked into wins. And I shouldn't really say unfortunately for them, I'm sure they built their deck around this entirely, but I mean, I guess that's one of the things holding back the archetype from, being splashed into anything else, because it's not like win cards are really a prominent strategy. So with the Take Tomborg, they bring out the Tri-Eyed Dice. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the next attack this turn from a monster your opponent controls. I mean, it's an effect. It's not the best effect, but hey, maybe it'll come up in the duel. So after that gets summoned, they're going to be activating Speed Lift. If you control exactly one tuner and no other monsters, special summon one level 4 or lower Speedroid monster from your deck. Neither player can activate cards or effects when that monster is special summoned. I mean, that's kind of a cool effect because in that instance, I guess this kind of acts like a magical meltdown, right? I would assume the rulings for this card would be the same. Your opponent shouldn't be able to torrential you or anything, which is pretty cool. But I mean, if you're going to extend with that monster anyways, I don't think it's too relevant. So yeah, they bring out the Terror Top. Its effects were negated, right? Oh yeah, sorry, you can't even activate the effects. Was not negated. So they're going to go into the High Speedroid Rubber Band Shooter. So from what I know of Speedroids, I think this is one of the best cards in their deck. 2 wind monsters. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one wind monster. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest of this turn except for synchro monsters. So obviously no normal summon, so that doesn't matter. And then you can banish one wind synchro monster from your extra deck, reveal 2 Speedroid monsters with different names from your deck whose total levels equal the level of that synchro monster. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand, and you send the other to the graveyard. Now, as we saw, I think quite a few of these Speedroid cards do have graveyard effects, so you can luck out in potentially loading up your graveyard, although I'm not 100% sure. So they're going to banish a copy of Stardust Charge Warrior. So what do they pick from their deck here? Let's see. So they pick out another Card Turbo. We've already seen this card. And another Take Tomborg. So they're just going to flip heads or tails here. It landed on tails, so they're going to be adding the Take Tomborg to their hand. I think they're fine either way here, right? Because either one was an extender, so yeah, that's totally fine. They're going to use the Monster Reborn. They're going to target Terror Top. So yeah, Terror Top does have an on-summon effect, I believe. Yep. When this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand. So yeah, that's very, very good for them. What did they add here? They're going to add a Speedroid Marble Machine. When this card is normal summon, you can activate this effect, add one Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand. Alright, so that's not too bad. It's an in-archetype Rhoda. Pretty cool. So what do they do next? Oh, right. They have an extra normal summon from Rubber. That's really good. So they get to bring this out and they get to Rhoda a card. They're going to add a double Yo-Yo. When this card is normal summon, you can target one level 3 or lower Speedroid monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Wow, so it looks like they do have a lot of ways to spam the board. They're going to special out the Take Tomborg here. Because remember, the last time it was on the field, that was their original normal summon. They use Take Tomborg's effect, which is not once per turn. Interesting. They're going to bring out Speedroid Den Daikel Duke. That's one hell of a name, and it is a tuner. So next they're going to synchro summon into a High Speedroid Haguaida, and I'm probably butchering these names, but man, who the hell even knows how to say any Speedroid cards, right? So they're going to use Denden's effect to banish itself, special summon a Speedroid Tuner monster from their hand or graveyard. Wow. These cards are actually pretty cool. They're actually not too bad. I mean, obviously, this probably does just hard lose to Nibiru. But yeah, after they bring back the card turbo, they're going to go into a copy of Crystal Wing. And that looks like their end board. I don't know entirely how strong this is because it doesn't look like anything else does anything except the Crystal Wing. We know they have an attack negate in the graveyard. I don't think they have anything else. So yeah, the Ancient Warrior player is going to draw into a copy of Borrowing of Arrows, which looks like a custom card. I have no idea what this card does. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and one Ancient Warrior monsters you control. Until the end of this turn, have that opponent's monster attack, and if you do, add that lost attack to your monster, even if this card leaves the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard while you control Ancient Warriors monsters with 2 or more different attributes, you can place one Ancient Warriors continuous spell/trap from your hand or deck face up on the field, except itself. And wow, I guess that's a cool card, but it doesn't seem too great. So let's see how they play out their turn. They're going to activate Tenki. Now that's a card that I know. Oh, and well, yeah, now that we're looking at their hand properly, I just realized they do have a Kaiju, so this isn't really relevant. They're going to add a copy of Sun Mu to hand, so while you control another Ancient Warriors monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects of Sun Mu once per turn. You can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add one Ancient Warriors monster from your deck to your hand except itself, and if your other Ancient Warriors monster effect is activated, except during the damage step, you can target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. That's a pretty cool card. So yeah, obviously they're going to start off their turn with the Kaiju. There's just no reason to try bait out the gates or anything here while you have the Kaiju in hand. We're going to be activating 3 visits. During your main phase, if you normal or special summon an Ancient Warriors monster, you can target one of those monsters, add one Ancient Warriors monster with a different name from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can special summon one Ancient Warriors monster from your hand, and you can only use each effect of 3 visits once per turn. Send this card to the graveyard during your second standby phase after activation. Damn, these are some long tags. So we're going to be normal summoning the Sun Mu, activating the effect of 3 visits here. We're going to be adding, oh my god, these names are something else. Ingenious Zuge Kong. If this card is added from the deck to your hand by the effect of an Ancient Warriors card, you can special summon it. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Next, they're going to be activating Sun Mu's effect, targeting the Godarla to bounce. Wow, so we just get to bring back the Kaiju to our hand. So, this game is not looking pretty good for the Speedroid Windwitch player. Does this card have another effect? When a spell/trap card is activated, you can send one face-up Ancient Warriors continuous spell/trap to the graveyard, negate the activation. When a monster effect is activated while you control, oh, not itself. This is for a different card. Okay, so this one's not as good, but this second effect actually doesn't seem too bad. Alright, well, let's see what they do here. They're going to be activating the Borrowing of the Arrows, and then activating Sun Mu's effect. Okay. Going to be searching a Valiant Zhang Di. Man, these names are wild. For anyone that actually knows how to properly pronounce these cards, I am so freaking sorry. I don't know what to tell you. If you can control 2 or more Ancient Warrior monsters, you can special summon it. That's a big body. So now we're gonna link off, and just like with the Speedroid deck, I'm aware that this card is also one of the best cards for the Ancient Warrior strategy. In case you don't know what it does, I 100% don't know what it does completely either. Let's just read it together. All Ancient Warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack/defense. You can only use each of the following effects of Ancient Warriors Oath, Double Dragon Lords once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can add one Ancient Warriors card from your deck to your hand, and then it has a quick effect where you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target one face-up card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So it has a bounce. That's not too bad. So that's actually another way that you can bounce your Kaiju, which is pretty cool. So they're going to be adding Rebellious Lu Fang, and you can special summon this card by controlling the highest attack Ancient Warriors monster on the field, and no doubt that Reach will not have any Ancient Warrior monsters on his field. So next we're going to be summoning the Rebellious Lu Fang, and I really just don't know what Reach can possibly do here. I'm guessing we're going to be using the bounce effect here. Yep, bouncing the rubber band. And I mean, do Speedroid really have a way to come back here? I don't know. We're just gonna... Oh? Ah, yes, it has a boost. I forgot. Yep, it's on 1600. Okay, so there was some confusion there. And if these players are confused, then I am most definitely confused. So it's just a normal battle. Just beating over the Terror Top, taking 400 damage. And then swinging for a fat amount of damage with a 2800 from Lufang. Oh, no. Oh, the Tri-Eye Dice comes clutch to block 2800 damage. But yeah, we're still going to take 2700 to the face. Whether Speedroid has a way to come back from this, I guess we'll see. Does Clayton do anything else on their turn, or does he just leave these two bodies with the double Dragon Lord's bounce on his field? All right, yeah, they all have a 500 boost, so they're actually a lot beefier than I originally anticipated. Cool, so that's going to be the end of their turn. A Reach is going to draw into a Red-Eye Dice. They're going to be normal summoning Double Yo-Yo, which will allow them to target a card in their graveyard to special summon. They're going to be targeting the Terror Top. Now, do you respond here? This is not an extender. So I think if you just... Oh, wait, no. Well, Terror Top will get its effect on summon. So they probably will be able to add an extender. So you probably hold off on the bounce here until you really have to. There's nothing on the board that's too threatening to your game state right now. So you would definitely hold off. They're going to be adding a Taki Tomborg. And they're going to be able to special summon it, because it doesn't even matter if you bounce at this point. They're going to be using Taki Tomborg's effect to tribute itself and bring out another Wind Monster from their deck. Which tuner monster will they bring out? They'll bring out another Den Daigo, which, as we saw previously, does have a graveyard effect to get another body on board. So this is actually a very good summon. So we're going to be actually using the Ancient Warriors Link monster here to bounce the Den Daigo, which I guess isn't too bad, considering you don't want it to get its graveyard effect. Reach says wait. Okay. Yep, so the bounce should be fine. We're going to add it to their hand. Now, can they do anything with just the Taki Tomborg and the Double Yo-Yo? We're about to see. We're going to go into the Rubber Band Shooter. Okay. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay, yeah, they get the additional normal. And it looks like the red guy has another effect that maybe we forgot about. Or maybe we just didn't read it, right? Once per turn during your main phase, you can destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. Damn, okay. So they're going to be popping the Rubber Band Shooter, but they do still have an additional normal. Oh, and yeah, it looks like Reach cannot play through that. So, Reach's original board with just the Crystal Wing wasn't too threatening. Clayton was just able to break through with a lot of ease. Reach will be able to go first here. I don't think he wants to blind second. Yep. Or I don't think they want to blind second. Sorry. Oh, well, I guess I was dead wrong. It looks like they do want to blind second. That is very interesting. So, Clayton is actually going to go first. And it looks like they weren't ready to go first, because I see a triple tactic in their hand. So, I'm going to just be setting a copy of Ancient Warrior Saga Defense of Changban. What does this card do? If your Ancient Warriors monster battles, your opponent cannot activate any spells, traps until the end of the damage step. This really doesn't matter right now. You can only use one of the following effects of this card per turn, and only once that turn. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can send this face-up card from your spell and traps onto the graveyard. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target. Oh, doesn't matter. You don't have any Ancient Warriors monsters. And then when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from the graveyard. Special summon one Ancient Warriors monster from your deck. Now that doesn't seem like too bad of an effect. I like that. So we're going to draw into a Harpy's Feather Duster. And we're going to be starting off our turn with the Wind Channeler. So we're going to be pitching Wind. We're going to pinch a Red-Eye Dice. Does this have a graveyard effect? It does not. Be adding a Marble Machine. Ooh, and it looks like we did draw into our Windwitch engine. So yeah, we're going to be activating the Ice Spell. And there's just no interruption on the side of the Ancient Warriors player here. So yeah, Ice Spell is going to bring out Snowbell. And Snowbell should... sorry, not Snowbell. I mean Glass Spell. And Glass Spell should be able to add, I believe... Snowbell. There we go. That's Snowbell. The level 1 is Snowbell. Now that we have 2 of these on the field, we can special out Snowbell. And I wonder if they're playing Wind Pegasus. I actually see their list. They are playing Wind Pegasus. So I would imagine that they go into that there. It's just a free resource in the graveyard. Just no reason to play any of the other level 7s over this. Like, Wind Pegasus is actually really, really good. And next, I assume we go... Ooh... Did I miss something? Ignister. Oh, right. It has a pop. I completely forgot about that. I don't think I've seen that come up before. So yeah, now we go into the Crystal Wing. We're going to normal summon the Speedroid Marble Machine. So now we don't have to worry about Ash Blossom. I mean, but I guess you probably would have ashed this if anything, right? So I'm going to be adding a Taki Tomborg to hand. We're going to be able to special summon that now. And I assume we tribute it here in order to get a tuner. And do we go for the Den Daiko again? We do indeed go for the Den Daiko. So this already just looks significantly better than the first game for Reach. Reach is going to go into a Chanbara. And they're just going to go into the battle phase here. I don't know if they read the second effect of this. But I guess we'll see. Are they swinging? Chanbara gains 200 for each attack. Yes. Yep. I have a feeling that they just didn't read this trap. Maybe they did, though. Maybe they just don't care. So, I mean, this would still gain the 200, right? Oh, no. It's at the start of damage step if this card battles. Does Ash work against that? It does indeed work against that because we're not in damage step. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to be a little bit late on the Ash Blossom, but that will be hit with the Ash. And it looks like they will successfully be able to attack with the Chanbara and with the Crystal Wing. Is that game? Or are we just short? I think we're just short, if I'm not mistaken. Or, I guess we have enough. Apparently, I can't do math. It's okay. Oh, yeah, we took damage from the Windwitch. That's what I missed. Yep. There we go. Makes a lot more sense now. So it looks like we're going on to game number 3. Yeah, that definitely was a much more impressive showing from Reach. And yeah, I don't know. Who do you guys have taking game 3? Make sure to leave your answers down in the comments below. Do you have Clayton on Ancient Warriors or do you have Reach on Speedroid Windwitch? I completely just missed who chose first there. But yeah, oh, it looks like Clayton chose to go second. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, considering we did see them on Tactics, and it does seem like this deck does excel going second. So Reach is going to start off with the Ice Spell, similarly to what we saw the previous game. They're going to go into the Wind Pegasus here, I assume. It doesn't seem like, oh, well, yeah, they didn't really open anything else except double Imperm, Ash, and Wind. The Wind seems dead here, but they do have the Wind Pegasus engraved, which can possibly come up super clutch later on in this game. So they're just going to end on Crystal Wing. I assume set double Imperm, yep. And they're going to pass on that, which, you know, honestly, is kind of threatening. They have 2 effect negates, an Ash Blossom, and a Crystal Wing. It's not too bad at all. Clayton is going to draw into a Loyal Guan Yun. Going to start off with a 3 visits, which we saw in game 1. They do have the Prosperity in hand in case this isn't enough for them to play, but I think it should be fine. I assume... Okay, East by South wins. I think this is a new card that we didn't see in any of these games, so let's just read this real quick. You must send this card to the graveyard during your second standby phase after activation. Once per turn during your main phase, toss a coin, and if the result is heads, send this card to the graveyard. If this card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can activate this effect this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Ancient Warriors cards and effects. Also, until the end of the turn, all Ancient Warriors effect monsters you control currently control gain this effect. When this card declares an attack, you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Oh wow, so it looks like if they get the coin toss, it looks like they're gonna be in a pretty good spot. So yeah, we're gonna be activating East by South wins if the result is heads, and it's not heads. Oh well, yeah, it looks like the 50-50 isn't on Clayton's side this game. I'm going to be activating the Loyal Guan Yun in hand. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It looks like Reach is a little bit confused on East by South Winds, and I don't blame them one bit. This is a lot of new cards, and you know, they do have quite the amount of text on them. So, do they have a response to the Guan Yun? They're just gonna negate it flat out with Crystalling. Yeah, I don't know if that was the play, to be honest. I'm going to be activating the Tenki here, which will be met with the Ash. Which, wow, we're just shotgunning everything straight away, aren't we? We're going to be Prosperity, and I assume this will be for 6, right? Yeah, because we haven't really seen the Ancient Warriors player try to access anything other than their Link monster. I don't know if they really do. Let me take a peek at their list here. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like their extract is all that important to their gameplay, or to their game plan, I should say. What do they hit here off the Prosperity? They hit a Rebellious Lufang and Ash Blossom, Ambitious Cow. Is the rest of the name blocked off, or is it really just Cow Day? Alpha the Master of Beast, Virtuous Lu Zwan, Wan, whatever, Rebellious Lufang. I'm gonna be honest, I can't really be like an analytical genius here. I don't know what the best ad here is for the Ancient Warrior player, but it looks like they do, because they're going to be adding a copy of Virtuous Lu Zwan to their hand. Man, I really hate myself for not knowing how to pronounce any of these cards. So, yeah, important thing to know about Prosperity, all damage for the rest of the turn will be halved. So I'm going to be normal summoning the Virtuous Lu Zwan, Lu Jian, Zhuan, I don't know. 3 visits will activate though, and that'll be okay. Reach does not have a response. We are where they have Imperm, and none of these cards play into the Imperm columns. We're going to be adding an Ingenious to their hand, and if this card is added, as we've seen previously, they're going to be able to special summon it, which is pretty nice. What do they do next? Do they Link Climb here? No, I assume they go into this first, right? I don't think you'd want to risk, you know, going into your Link and then just not being able to bring this back out after. Yeah, that makes the most sense here. And now is the time that you go into the Link. So I believe this can get rid of 1 Imperm, but it won't be able to deal with both. So that's going to be met with Imperm. The Zhu Guang, or Zhu Kong, is going to be chained here in response. And I assume you chained the other Imperm. Yep, that makes the most sense. And, ooh. That's actually very smart. So the negate will go through because the Imperm targeted the Kong here. And since it was sent to the graveyard, it won't be able to negate it. That's very smart. They're going to be adding a Fearsome Zhang to their hand. So I do like how they have like Fearsome Kong. Well, okay, actually, I guess Kong is just their last name. But I like the Ingenious, the Fearsome. I think their names are pretty cool. Double Dragon Lords is pretty cool for a name. So I'm going to be using a South by Southwinds effect in the graveyard now. So, wow. Yeah, well, it's not relevant now, but since they have nothing to destroy. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. So they're just going to swing for the 16 here. And I guess they can't really do anything else, can they? So this does activate in damage step, so that's pretty cool for an ad. Oh, that's right. They called it correctly. I actually forgot for a second too. The damage is half thanks to Prosperity. So that's going to be the end of their turn. Reach is going to draw into a card turbo, and they have the win in hand. So it does seem like they're able to play here. The only thing they really have to be cautious about here is the bounce from the Double Dragon Lords, I believe. And they do have to fear the Fearsome. I guess that's why they call it Fearsome. Makes sense. You got to fear the Fearsome in the damage step. We're going to be adding a copy of Terratop. Terratop is going to special summon itself. We're going to be bringing out alongside it a Speedroid Marble Machine, which is the rotor for the deck. Speedroid Marble Machine is going to be the normal summon of choice for Reach here. And what do they add off of the marble? the Taki Tomborg is going to be the ad. And we did see the bounce be quite problematic for Reach in one of the previous games. So the Taki Tomborg is going to come out. They're going to get themselves a copy of a tuner, which is the Den Den Daiko. And the last time this got bounced, yeah, it was quite a bit of a problem for Reach. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the scenario this time, which, is quite interesting why you don't bounce it here. Is there a better point of interruption here? Because, like, yeah, they do still have access to the link, but, interesting. Oh, so I guess they just go into the rubber band shooter here right away. So, yeah, the double Dragon Warrior tier is going to activate to bounce. I know we have the Duke Engraver, but do we have something else as well? So, we're going to bring out the card Turbo. Oh, and I guess Hogwada can, yep. I forgot. Hogwada has an effect where it can special summon itself if you control a tuner. So, wow. It looks like we go into another copy. Oh, no. The other one was bounced. Okay, yeah. So, we're going to go into the Crystal Wing here. I assume they're on multiples. Let me just double check. They are indeed on multiples. They're actually playing a full 3 copies of it. So, we're going to go into the battle phase here. I don't think the Fearsome is going to be relevant because I think it only deducts 1,000, right? Yeah. That's not too relevant here. So they're just going to eat it. Does this have a graveyard effect? No, it looks like nothing happens. So that's going to be the end of Reach's turn. They're just going to pass on a Crystal Wing. Clayton will draw into a Tenki, which is very, very good for them because now they can search out whatever they want. But whether they can play through one interruption through Crystal Wing, we'll find out. So we're going to be activating the Tenki here. What do we search? How can we play around the one copy of Crystal Wing? They also do have to remember the Wind Pegasus still is in the graveyard, so they do have to kind of play around that as well. So they're going to be adding a Sun Mu. That's going to be their normal summon. They're going to be activating the 3 Visits effect here. So they're going to be getting another ad. And they're just doing whatever they can here, I guess, to bait out the Crystal Wing. Adding a copy of Lu Fang. So this doesn't even activate the special summon, which is pretty cool. But how do you play around the Crystal Wing? Because none of this right now beats over Crystal Wing. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. I almost forgot about the second effect. So yeah, he tried to target the Crystal Wing to pop. That's going to be immediately met with the negate. Next, we're going to be using the Sun Mu effect. And what are we going to do? We're just going to be adding another card, I believe, here, right? Yeah. So we're going to be adding an Ingenious. This is the one when added, you get to special summon it. So now we have 2 monsters. We have access to the link. Do we bounce the Crystal Wing here? I believe you do, right? Visit has a graveyard effect, right? If this card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Ancient Warrior monster from your hand. Pretty cool. So there we go. We got 3 bodies on board now. As long as we're not popping this, I think we should be in a pretty good position from the Ancient Warriors perspective. And they're going to be able to bounce the Crystal Wing. So yeah, they don't even have to worry about the Wind Pegasus in graveyard. So unfortunately, Wind Pegasus does not seem to be very good in this matchup. It just seems like the Ancient Warriors have a lot of ways to bounce and not destroy cards that Reach controls. So here we're going to link off into the Ancient Warriors Oath. The link 2 for the Ancient Warriors deck. We're going to be searching a copy of Valiant. We're going to be able to special summon this. And yeah, this is definitely more damage than if they just kept these 2 on board. Is that enough for lethal? I think it might be. We don't have the attack or the battle phase negate here in the graveyard. This is going to swing for 16. This is going to swing for 28, and this is going to swing for game. Damn. Well, that was pretty interesting. It looks like Speedroid Windwitch might not be the flex. They maybe didn't need to activate all their cards that quickly, but also I don't know if it really mattered all that much. It looks like the Ancient Warriors player just had a lot of opportunities to play through whatever Reach threw at them. And yeah, I gotta give it props to Clayton here. They actually played this pretty well. Pretty cool showing by both decks, showcasing what some non-meta strategies can do until we inevitably probably go up higher in the rounds. I think we'll get to see more Dragon Link and maybe some Invoke stuff, but for now it's pretty cool to feature some of the non-meta strategies. Hopefully you learned something, because I sure as hell learned a lot from both of these decks, because I had no idea what they did beforehand. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the duel, make sure to smash that like button, make sure to subscribe, and stay tuned for more Reddit Championship Series future matches. They will be coming right up shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Bear signing off. Peace, guys.